Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another English class here on verbling.com. My name is Lisa and I'm one of the teachers here at Verbling. I live in the state of Washington and I live in the United States. So if you want to join me in this hour and you have a reservation, then you can use your reservation now. But if you don't have a reservation, that's okay. You can always join a Verbling class whenever there's the join class button. So once it counts down those first 2 minutes up there on the button, then anybody can join the class. This is going to be kind of a reading / speaking class. We're going to be talking about Oktoberfest, which is a festival that's originally from Germany, but a lot of people around the world celebrate it. So there are lots of different Oktoberfests around the United States and also the world. So I got this article from the Smithsonian magazine, and we're going to be looking at it, reading, looking at some pictures, and discussing. So if you want to join the class, then you can go ahead and join now. You just have to click on the join class button. If you're new to Verbling, I will explain a little bit how it works. While we're waiting to see if some students join the class. The way that this works is Verbling is a website for improving your languages. So we have a couple of different types of things that you can do on the website. One of the things you can do is attend classes. So if you're looking at the main page on Verbling, if you're there and you're watching me, this video is streaming live there, then what you're seeing is a couple of classes. So it looks like right now we have 3 English classes going and a Spanish class going at the same time. So what this means is if you're a member or if you purchase some classes, then you can join one of those classes. So you can join one of the 3 English classes that are happening right now, or if you want to practice your Spanish, then you can join the Spanish class. We have lots of English classes going at the same time, usually 1, 2, or 3 every hour. So if you're wanting to practice your English, Verbling is the place to come. Okay. Hi there, Andre. How are you doing?
Hi Lisa, I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing well. So I just caught the last part of the class with Henna that you guys, I think you were in there. Were you? Were you in that class?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I just saw that you guys were talking about whether or not people have a favorable attitude of Americans or the U.S., I guess. I'm not sure what exactly it was.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
I'm not sure it's who made this. It's just statistics, and it's favorable of whom, of government or people,
Exactly.
because government and people are different. It's
very different.
Very different, yeah.
Very different, and especially in a country like the United States, where it's so big. Some people might not realize it, but I think people who are learning English have learned that it's a huge country, and so there's lots of variety even in terms of culture and people and values and belief systems and politics. So it's really hard to talk about, an American person and be very accurate, just like, many other countries around the world, large countries like Russia and, Brazil, China, they're made up of lots of different types of people that have different values, really, and different lifestyles and things like that. So it's interesting.
Agree.
Yeah. So it's interesting, though. I mean, of course, especially the United States, people might think that you can get somewhat of a sense of Americans if you watch a lot of American TV or movies or something like that. But again, it's not necessarily the best of America that's represented.
Yeah.
Especially those reality TV shows lately. They're kind of crazy. All right. Well, they're there to sell products and commercials. So.
Yeah.
Hi guys. So hi Yuki. How are you?
Fine. How's it going?
It's going very well, actually. Temperature's dropping. It's definitely becoming more fall weather, but I like the fall, so I'm enjoying that. The trees, the leaves on the trees are changing color, so I like that. It doesn't
That
happen.
sounds
What?
really good. That sounds really good.
Yeah. Does that happen in Moscow? Are the trees changing colors?
Привет, Andre.
Andre, what did you say?
It's
Yeah,
been a long time.
Okay, go ahead, Andre.
The leaves are all yellow. It's kind of gold autumn. I'm not sure if you have this phrase in English. It's gold autumn or gold fall. I'm not sure.
We usually talk about the fall colors because we definitely have a lot of gold. You know, the leaves are turning gold, but they're also turning a lot of other colors as well. So, for example, red is pretty popular. I'll show you a picture here. This happens more dramatically, I could say. Like on the East Coast, you know, I live in the state of Washington, and that's on the West Coast. So we usually have more evergreens, so that the trees stay greener. But the other day, I was taking a walk at a park, and we had a lot of colors, red and golden yellow like this, and different shades of green. But this is what it looks like in the area of the country known as New England, so like Boston and New York, maybe Virginia area, where Washington, D.C. is the capital and stuff. So it's pretty dramatic. People really like it. But
yes, Indeed, autumn leaves here are very beautiful. Yes. Also, it is differ from Japanese season. Japanese autumn. You know, Japanese autumn is well known as a beautiful red leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, red.
So leaves turn to red and yellow in autumn in Japan. You can travel in the area which is famous in the red leaves. It's really beautiful. But here almost all leaves turn into the yellow. So autumn in Russia is called as golden autumn. Yes.
So it's more just the yellow gold.
It's also really beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, so it looks more like that right there. Neat. Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch the colors change. We also have quite a bit of flowers still, so I've been taking some pictures and putting them on Facebook and stuff because I like the colors. It's nice. Yeah, that one that you mentioned about the Japanese, we have a tree here actually that turns red, and we call it.
It's a maple tree, maybe.
Yeah, Japanese maple tree. Yeah.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah.
There is very few maple trees here, and Russian people regarded autumn as a little gloomy season.
Yeah.
So, because it's getting colder and colder now, so it means the end of the summer season.
Yes.
So people get into the depression here.
Starting already, huh? No.
Yes.
No. Antonio, what are the leaves like in Spain right now? Are they turning colors?
Hello everyone.
Hello.
We have a big problem because the autumn is late this year.
Oh, okay.
The weatherman in the news said that the next weekend we are going to reach 13 degrees in the weekend, like in the August month.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
But I am very upset because I want to go to this weekend to looking for mushrooms, and it's a bit raining the weather, and that's why they are growing on the
Mm-hmm.
mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, like in New York or Moscow, the mountain is changing the color of the leaves. But this year, that I said, the autumn is late.
Yeah. Um, wow, that's yeah. The weather is always a mystery. But
Yeah.
what kind of mushrooms do you collect? Do you know the name of them?
I don't know many names, but
Mm.
here in Spain is very famous Robellón,
Yeah.
or the people in the north say I couldn't remember. I
Mm.
couldn't remember. This is
Mm.
the name of this maroon is delicious.
Yeah.
But there are another mushrooms who are um, I don't know
Do you have to
the
be pretty careful? Because here we have so many
yes,
mushrooms
yes,
and
yes.
some are poisonous.
But yeah, that's the word. Fortunately, I have to be very careful. But for the smell and the look, it's
Uh-huh.
very easy to know if that is good or not good.
Oh,
But
okay.
there are some other kind of mushrooms who are very dangerous. Every year die one or two people because about the
Wow.
problem of the mushroom.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of kind of mushroom. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Same, I think the same thing happens here. And I think right now people are going into the forests to find some wild mushrooms. But I'm not a big mushroom fan, so I'm always a little bit scared to eat them. So I just stick to the regular mushrooms.
Niscalo, this one, Niscalo, they name
Niscala. Yeah.
is delicious, but another kind of mushroom for me is not very good because they are a bit, I don't know the name, like the lemon is stays hard
Mm.
and a bit uh, tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know in some parts of the United States, people like to gather wild mushrooms, and some parts they're not that famous. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupt you.
Hi, Victor. No problem. Hi, welcome.
Hi. I just want to ask Antonio, as I understand, do you collect mushrooms?
No, I eat mushroom.
But
Oh.
where do you go to the forest to get them, or who gets them?
No, no, no.
Oh, you don't go.
I visit some exposition about this is
Oh.
the time of the year when in the in village, small village, they came out to the countryside to collect maroon, and they made expositions about maroon, and they explain about
Oh,
its
okay.
characteristics or its taste. The funniest is the local restaurants
Yeah.
make um, food about this kind of food.
Mm. Okay, so you're going to. Okay, so you're
The-
not going to pick them.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we have some events like that too here in Washington. There's like a wild mushroom show, and the technical term is mycological. So that's like the study of mushrooms and stuff. And a lot of people are really, really into it. And so we have a big event here in my town. I think it's usually once a year, but people go into the forest and pick mushrooms and talk about mushrooms and share mushrooms, and yeah, they're pretty into it. Victor, do you guys pick mushrooms?
Yes. In last year,
Mhm.
I went to the forest often, but this year the weather is very dry.
Oh, it's dry. Okay.
Dry, yes, and mushrooms like wet weather.
Yes, they do. Okay. Yeah, the place where they pick the wild mushrooms here is very wet place where I live. It's actually considered a rainforest because it rains so much. But they grow on the logs and stuff like that. So yeah, people go.
Yeah, the
find
fall this year is without any rain. It's the weather is almost like in summer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not mushroom weather.
Not mushroom weather, yeah. Well, it's mushroom weather here at my house because it's not too hot. Yeah, and it has been raining. So, okay, guys. Well, that's cool. We're going to be talking in this hour about the Oktoberfest. So, does anybody know about what Oktoberfest is, and have you ever been to an Oktoberfest?
Yes, of course, but I have never been an Oktoberfest, but I know this event very well.
Yeah. Well, I went to Munich one time, and I was there, that's in Germany, where they have a big Oktoberfest, and it's pretty wild. Lots of. I don't drink beer though, so I was more just looking at it and watching the people. But it gets pretty crazy with really huge glasses of beer and everything. So it can be pretty wild there. What about you, Antonio? Have you ever had an Oktoberfest or been to one?
I missed this year because in my city the festival it was the last week.
Oh, okay.
I have been for 4 years at least attending the Oktoberfest. There are here in my city there are 3 places where the Oktoberfest is celebrating, and it's very funny. I am very keen on of beer. I enjoy with friends, with workmates, and we usually go with the workmates with my wife. We enjoy a lot. It's a good time. With the musicians, they are very funny person. We could play the head play like the people of the picture, and it's very funny. I enjoy a lot because it's when the holidays here in my city is at the same time that the Columbus celebration, like in America.
Okay. Yeah.
Here in my city is very famous the Basilica del Pilar.
Oh, okay.
The Virgen del Pilar is very famous, and the 12th of the October 12th is the big day for us.
Oh,
and
okay.
we always celebrate the Oktoberfest. Many years ago, they started to do this kind of party here, and it's very successful.
Cool. Do they play German music or Spanish music?
Sometimes they play German music, and other times is music from everywhere.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or in passion, or it depends.
Yeah.
But it's very enjoyed.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun. All right.
Very fun.
Okay. Well, this class, I was thinking we could do some reading, and then there are 8 places that we're going to read about where they have some pretty big Oktoberfest celebrations. And yeah, it looks like it's either happening this week pretty much in different places, or last weekend maybe. Let's see. Andre, why don't you go ahead and read this first paragraph here for us? Can everybody see that okay? Is it big enough on the screen? You can also open the link if you want. I'm going to put it again in there. There you go. Okay.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, please.
Every fall, millions of visitors descend upon Munich, Germany, to celebrate Oktoberfest, Germany's famous beer and pretzel-laden celebration. The festival, the largest of any festival in the world, with over 6 million participants, began in 1810 when Crown Prince Ludwig, later King Ludwig I, married Princess Therese von
German.
The newlyweds invited all the citizens of Munich to celebrate their nuptials.
Nuptials, yep.
Nuptials outside of the city gates on a field now named Theresienwiese. Sorry, I don't know German.
Theresienwiese or something.
Yeah, the party was such a hit that the future king and queen decided that they wanted to recreate it every year. Oktoberfest has been held at this Theresienwiese every year since, with the exception of 1813, when Bavaria was engaged in the Napoleonic Wars.
Wow, I didn't realize so many people came. 6 million people come to drink beer and pretzels.
Yeah.
So it's a big party. Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't really know the history of it, so now we just learned something. It's a wedding party that happened. So the nuptials just mean to celebrate the fact that they got wedding. A nuptial refers to a marriage. So they got married and they wanted to have a big party, and it was such a hit. So it was so popular and so nice that he wanted to do it every year, and that's how it got started. Okay, I'll read this little part and then we'll get to the next part. Munich may be home to the original Oktoberfest, which, despite its name, occurs each year from late September through the first weekend in October, but it's not the only fall celebration of German culture. If you can't make it to Bavaria this year or want to try a festival with smaller crowds, here are 8 alternatives. Okay, Antonio, why don't you read? This is in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario in Canada, and you can read that paragraph for us about this celebration. Your microphone is muted, Antonio.
Okay.
There you go.
If you are looking for the world's second largest Oktoberfest, you'll have to go beyond German borders. The biggest Oktoberfest outside Munich takes place each year in the Ontario Twin Cities of Kitchener-Waterloo. Kitchener was named Berlin from 1833 until 1960. Because the large number of German immigrants migrating to the city. At last year's Oktoberfest, 700,000 visitors consumed more than 50,000 sausages and 2,500,000 pretzels.
Wow.
But Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest is more than good fun for visitors. It is an economic boost for the city. Last year, the festival generated an estimated $21 million in economic activity.
Okay, good. I don't necessarily need to go over all the words, but if there's something you want me to go over, I will. I think the main ideas we're just reading about each city that has their own version of this celebration. And so this particular one had a lot of German immigrants, so that's probably how it got started. And let's see, consumed just means they ate. To consume food means to eat or drink also. And it was an economic boost for the cities. Antonio, what do you understand by that? It's an economic boost. Do you understand that?
It's an engine economic, this kind of party, because people earn money about this kind of festival.
Right. So if something is a boost, that word just right there means it helps out, or it's like an increase in something. And it could be a boost of lots of things, like a boost of energy or something, but an economic boost refers specifically to the economy. So yeah, you know, a lot of people coming, a lot of people eating a lot of things, so that generates or creates a lot of economic activity, so money being exchanged. Not to mention, you can think, you know, anytime you have a big festival like that, people also come, so there's transportation that they're paying for, and they stay at hotels and things like that. They go out to dinner also, so it creates a lot of money for the city. All right, let's see. This next one here actually is in Brazil, Blumenau, Brazil. Looks like Germany right there. Okay, Mehmet, would you like to read about Brazil here for us?
Of course, okay.
All right.
Palm trees aside, Blumenau, Brazil's little Germany, puts on traditional German beer festival each October in celebration of the city's German heritage. In 1850, German philosopher Hermann Bruno Otto Blumenau, along with 17 countrymen, founded the town as an agricultural colony. Today, an estimated 30% of the town's oh my god, I am so bad
I will
about
help you.
numbers.
320,000. Yeah.
320,000 residents are of German descent. Blumenau
Descent.
Descent. Blumenau has hosted a beer festival every October since 1984, and each year more than 500,000 visitors make the journey south to celebrate. In 2012, partygoers consumed 652,000 liters of beer, mostly the Brazilian beer Brahma.
Good. So this is kind of funny the way it started. Palm trees aside, so you know, don't worry about the palm trees, which obviously are not part of Germany, but they are a part of Brazil. This is kind of cool. It's like a little town that's like Germany. We have another town like this in my state as well. It's called Leavenworth. And I've never been there, but my kids have been there. But when you see pictures of it, it's like that. It looks like a little German town in terms of the architecture and the buildings and stuff. And it's also near the mountains. So I think it's interesting. But definitely, you know, when immigrants travel and move to other countries, sometimes they set up towns that look like their old towns. All right, let's see. Some words here maybe. Any words you guys want me to explain? Countrymen, so people who were also from Germany, and they founded the town. So that means they created, you know, they discovered this area and took it and created a town there, made it into a town. And there's a lot of residents that are of German descent. So that word means that's where they come from, where you are descended from. So like Yuki, he's living in Russia, but he's of Japanese descent. And so if he were to, like for example, if he were to stay in Russia and have kids, then his kids would be Russian citizens, but they would be of Japanese descent. And host, if you host a party or a festival, it means you put it on. You're the person sponsoring the party or the festival or something like that. So they're also drinking a lot of beer and lots of party goers there. Yeah, Andre, good observation. You can start in Germany and just go around the different countries to get your to have fun and drink a lot of beer.
Very convenient schedule.
Yeah, good schedule. Okay, and German heritage. So something heritage just means like your culture, but from the old days kind of thing. Like, so instead of a modern day culture right now, it's the culture that maybe your parents or your grandparents or your great-great-grandparents grew up with. So you're celebrating the old part of your culture, your heritage. All right, so here we have one in the United States, which is in the state of Ohio, and the town is called Cincinnati. It doesn't look very German, but they're having the Oktoberfest. So, Yuki, would you like to read those paragraphs there?
Okay, just a minute. Okay. The largest Oktoberfest celebration in the United States takes place each year in Cincinnati.
Yes,
Around
exactly.
500,000 people are expected to attend this year's Oktoberfest, Cincinnati, which has taken place since 1974. This year's festival kicks off with the annual running of winners, a test of speed between 100 Dutch hands.
Dachshunds, we say. Yeah, it's a German word, Dachshunds. It's a type of dog. I'll show you what it is after you finish reading.
Dachshund. Okay, it talks. Dachshund. Between 100 dachshund dressed as hot dogs. It sounds funny. I can't imagine. According to Oktoberfest vendors, Ginginatians are shy about chewing down their favorite German grub. The festival goes through over 80,000 bratwurst. Bratwurst.
Sausage. Yeah, it's a type of sausage.
23,000 pretzels and 3,600 pounds of
sauerkraut. That's also a
sauerkraut.
Yeah, sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut each year. Oktoberfest Cincinnati also holds a Guinness Book of World Records title for the world's largest chicken dance. What does it mean?
I'll tell you.
In 1994, 48,000 participants, including the Prince of Bavaria, got done with the funky chicken.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so lots of
I believe the people there is quite cheerful.
They're having fun.
Variety.
Yes. All right, so let me go over something. So it takes place each year. So when you say it takes place, it means that's when it happens. So it happens or it is celebrated each year in Cincinnati. That's how we say that, Cincinnati. And then they're doing this as like a play on words. So with a Z, it's like Cincinnati. But it's kind of like German. And they've been doing it for quite a few years, since 1974. And the festival kicks off with, do you guys know what the word, the expression to kick off? If something kicks off?
Starts.
Exactly. Yeah, so they start with the running of the wieners. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the running of the wieners. So these are the Dachshund
the walking wieners.
Dogs. Yes. So there's these type of dogs, and they dress them up like hot dogs, you know, with buns and things. And then I guess they have a race down the road, and they figure out who wins. So
it looks cute.
It's kind of silly, but you know, people love their pets and stuff, so it's probably popular. So that's a German type of a dog. We say Dachshund. In English, it sounds more like Dachshund, even though it's like Dachshund. in German.
So a lot of silly things are taking place in this festival.
Well, you can imagine a
sounds
bunch
fun.
of beer drinking people. They're going to have some fun, you know. So, yeah, it's a celebration. It's like a party. So, let's see. The running of the wieners. So, the wieners are like hot dogs. It's another name. It's also the type of dog. So, we also call this dog a wiener dog. So, this particular type of dog is called a wiener dog because, you know, it's kind of weird. It looks kind of like a sausage itself, people think, because it's long and small and kind of round. So it's called a wiener dog. And they dress them up. Let's see. They're not shy about chowing down. Do you guys know chowing down? If you chow down on something? Anybody know? Chow down on sausages or something?
Biting, no? No.
Yeah, it just means to eat. Yeah, it's
Eating, just.
But when you chow down, it means you eat a lot. So to eat a lot of something, like if you say, oh, let's go chow down on some pizza, it means let's go eat a bunch of pizza or sausages. So they're chowing down on a bunch of German grub. Grub is just another word for food. So German food. And so the bratwurst is a type of German sausage. The pretzels, the sauerkraut, that's made with cabbage. So it's a fermented cabbage, which goes with sausages. And the chicken dance. So the chicken dance is a type of dance. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. It's a silly dance. Can you guys see that?
We have similar in Russian, I guess.
Yeah. So it's the music. Yeah.
This is the Spanish dance of María Jesús y los pajaritos. It's very old.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the kind of dance that it is. Oops, we gotta get back here. That's the chicken dance. We call it the chicken dance because you kind of move your arms a certain way, like you're flapping your chicken wings or something. So that's why it's called the chicken dance. All right, so you can go to Canada, and then now we're going to Hong Kong. Wow, Hong Kong would be a huge place to have it. Okay, Andre, why don't you read about Hong Kong? They're actually going into November even.
Oh.
Unlimited beer around the world.
The festivals are continuing.
Yes, exactly.
For 23 years, the Marco Polo Hong Kong Hotel has celebrated their own version of Oktoberfest Beer Fest with German cuisine, German music, and authentic German beer. The same style of Löwenbräu beer served since 1811. In the tents at the Munich fairgrounds. But those looking to get their hands on the Löwenbräu should arrive early, as the hotel only serves 200 steins of the brew each night. Marco Polo's Beer Fest bills itself as Asia's longest-running outdoor Oktoberfest. The celebration, which stretches for 23 days, attracts more than 53,000 guests who consume over 71,000 liters of beers and 25,000 pretzels.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's kind of amazing to think that this is such a popular festival throughout the world. You know, the German, I guess drinking beer and eating pretzels and sausage is appealing to many people, not just the Germans. So they're using authentic, which means just like real German beer, cuisine, music, everything. I wanted to show you a picture of the real Munich Oktoberfest because when you go to the real one, there are a bunch of tents. So I wanted to show you, like, I don't know if you can see very well, but there's lots of different places where you can go. And inside of each tent, you have these, they call them the bar maidens. They're the ones bringing these heavy, heavy beers. They're huge. And so each tent, you know, has lots and lots of people inside. And, of course, there's people outside as well. So it's kind of just like all day long party, inside and outside. But you can see it's really popular. And there's other things going on too. So like the carnival style rides and things like that. But here, let's see, any words you guys want to know? Let's see, get their hands on. So to get your hands on some beer means you just want to have some beer, you know, get it in your hand so you can drink it. This word steins, that just means like I think it's the mugs. So they only serve 200 mugs. I'm not sure exactly what a beer stein is. It's a quantity of beer, but I'm not sure. It looks like maybe just 1 liter. So 200 liters. So not a lot of beer is being served each night, but it goes for a while. So they have a few weeks that they run it. Let's see, it's an outdoor one, and yeah, 23 days. So you can drink a lot of beer in 23 days. All right, let's keep going here. Antonio, how about you read about this one in Australia, Brisbane, Australia. So that's a tent that they're in right there, a big tent.
To celebrate the Oktoberfest Down Under, head to Brisbane, which hosts Australia's largest Oktoberfest. Even though in attracts crowds of more than 13,000, the big festival managed to maintain an intimate feel thanks to the 2 Australian German families who started and still run the festival. Held over the course of the weekends in October, Oktoberfest Brisbane features traditional German food, German and Australian wines, and traditional German beer brewed especially for the event, and held to the same exacting standards as beer brewed for the Munich Festival.
Good. All right, so Down Under. Did you guys know that that's how we refer to New Zealand and Australia? Yeah, Down Under. Yeah. Okay. So whenever you talk about Down Under, that's what we're talking about, is Australia and New Zealand. Okay, so let's see. They attract crowds of more than 30,000. So to attract means that's how many people are interested in coming, that people are interested. What does it mean, Antonio, that to maintain an intimate feel? Do you understand that little expression there?
They have to support the feeling.
What do you think the intimate means, right there? Intimate feel. Because
in his home, he feeling his home to do the same thing for a long time.
Not exactly. Does anybody else have another idea?
Now there is we have an intimate atmosphere here in the class. So intimate, the friendly.
Yes, small.
Private,
we could say, yeah, we could say
close relationship.
Close, yeah, close. A more intimate feel. So when you have a big festival, a lot of times you don't have an intimate feel because it doesn't feel like you know anybody and everybody's a stranger. But an intimate feel means like you can get to know somebody and talk to people and feel like you have a friend maybe, or you can be close to them. So you don't have to feel like you're totally alone in a huge crowd. So that's
sometimes a wife try to make an intimate connection with other man. That makes a problem. Yes. I hope it is not my wife's story.
Yeah. Whenever you have you could also use this intimate feel expression there to talk about like a restaurant perhaps. So if you have a nice restaurant and maybe the tables are small and there's like the lighting is like candles or something, it has a more intimate feel where you can be close and talk to your friends rather than like a big pizza place or something where everybody's just sitting on the benches and that kind of stuff. So that's what it means to have a kind of like an intimate atmosphere or environment as well. All right, so this one, let's see, 2 German-Australian families, or Australian-German families run it. They started it, they still run it. It means they operate it, and let's see, it's held over the course of. So held over the course of just means that's when they have the event. So they have it over 2 weekends at a time. And yeah, the beer is brewed specially. Hearing anything? Anybody here?
Yeah.
I haven't heard your voice for a while. Can you
For a
repeat
while,
again?
yeah. For a few
Maybe
seconds.
your connection has
Oh, my connection?
yes, disconnected maybe.
Oh.
And I don't know. I haven't heard your voice for a while.
It's
now
okay.
it's okay.
Now it's okay. Okay, what about Mehmet? Mehmet, are you there to read?
Yes. Okay. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. In 1990, in a move intended to both celebrate the reunification of Germany and spur tourism to the Michigan town of Frankenmuth, city officials decided to hold a traditional Oktoberfest in the town, known as Michigan's Little Bavaria.
Bavaria.
In 1996, the Frankenmuth Oktoberfest was officially sanctioned by the German parliament, making it the first festival outside of the Munich to receive such an honor. The next year, the Munich-based brewer, oh my god, German is really different. Hofbrauhaus became the event's official sponsor, assuring that Frankenmuth Oktoberfest would have a steady stream of German beer and financial support to continue operation.
Wow.
Today, the festival features traditional German food, beer and music, as well as Wiener dog races, where the Dachshunds race for the title of the Michigan's fastest winner.
Yeah. All right. So, in a move intended to. So, in a move means in action. So, they did something, and what they wanted to do, the intention or what they intended to do was to celebrate the reunification of Germany. So, I think people remember when East Germany and West Germany became one country again after the Berlin Wall came down. So, they wanted to celebrate that, but they also wanted to spur tourism. Mehmet, do you know what that might mean, spur tourism?
I am sorry, I don't have any idea about
spur. Okay. Does anybody know?
Attract, maybe.
I think activate.
Another word I would say is to promote.
Encourage.
To promote, yeah, exactly. To promote or to encourage. So they wanted to find something that could bring more tourists to their town. So lots of towns nowadays, especially smaller towns, they try to figure out something that can bring people to their town. So some kind of festival or celebration or party or concerts or something like that. Because when you have tourists, then you have money coming in to your town. So it's a good way to help your local economy. All right, so that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to have more people coming to their town, so that was a good way. Interestingly, it was officially sanctioned by the German parliament. So the German government said this is like an official Oktoberfest. It hasn't, we haven't read anything else about that in any of these other ones. So that's kind of like an honor. They're recognizing that this is another important German festival. Okay, Antonio, we'll see you later. If you have to leave, that's totally okay. All right, thanks for coming to the class. Let's see, Hofbrauhaus, that's just a German beer drinking place, like a pub or something. And so it's interesting that they also said they're going to have a steady stream of German beer. So a steady stream means it's going to come. They're not going to run out of beer. They're going to have plenty of beer. And they have the other things too, of course, the food, the music, and the wiener dog races. It's kind of silly. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Fredericksburg, Texas. So, of course, you can see, you know, as the United States is a country of immigrants, there were at one time quite a few German immigrants. So there we do have towns that are named, you know, German. They have German names, like Fredericksburg is a German name. Yeah. Okay, Yuki.
Okay. In 1990, in a move intended to both celebrate and celebrate the.
Wait, we're on the wrong one.
Sorry.
Can you see the one that where I am?
Okay. I
For
read
34 years.
Okay. For 34 years, a small Texas town of Fredericksburg, settled by German immigrants in the mid-19th century, has celebrated its German heritage by throwing its own Oktoberfest celebration. In Tex-Mex tradition, however, Fredericksburg's Oktoberfest features a combination of German and Mexican-American food, with fajitas served alongside sausage and sauerkraut. The festival also allows beer drinkers to sample 50 different brews, including beers from Germany and Texas. In addition to food and drink, and the festival features a marketplace where more than 45 artists from around the area will display their artwork this year. You know, I'm such a feeling I want to drink a beer.
You're getting thirsty now, huh?
Yes. I miss the beer and sausage and sauerkraut.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Okay, yes. So yeah, like I said, so the German immigrants, so the people who came from Germany, they set up this town in Texas. But it's kind of funny. In Texas, of course, they're also a lot related to Mexico, and so we have Tex-Mex. So that's like a mixture of Texan culture and Mexican culture, and so they're adding that in. So they're making a combination of the German food and stuff, but also adding in some Mexican American food. Fajitas is like a small slices of meat that are fried up, so that's Mexican style fajitas, but also the sausages and the sauerkraut. Is sauerkraut, do you guys eat sauerkraut in Russia? Do you guys know sauerkraut?
I think someone eat, yes.
Like this.
I thought.
No?
No, it's a little different from German's one, but people.
Because this is what it looks like.
Sometimes eat,
okay.
but not always.
No?
Is it cabbage or?
It's cabbage. Yeah, it's cabbage.
No, it's a sour cabbage. It's quite sour.
Yes.
It's quite suitable for eating sausage.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I have been there in Munich.
Oh, you have?
Before, yeah. Then there I
have some sauerkraut.
Yes, I have tasted. I have tried the sauerkraut there. It was very tasty.
It's tasty. Yeah, I like it. All right, so let's see. Beer drinkers, 50 different brews. So brews means the type of beer. So when you're drinking beers, there are lots of different varieties of beer, and those are called brews, how they are brewed. That's the process of making beer. Okay, so let's see. And they have artists, and so it's a different, kind of a little bit different type, but similar. Celebration, music, food, beer. That's the main ingredient, is the beer, I guess. Okay, and the last place they have for us is in South Africa. All right, Andre.
From
September.
From September to November, Beerfest, South Africa counterpart to Oktoberfest, travels through the South African cities. Each stop features a 4,000-seat beer tent, inspired by this at the Munich Festival, as well as 3 specialty beers brewed by brewmasters from the South African breweries. In addition to beer and traditional German food, festival goers will be treated to German music courtesy of the Beerfest
Oompa. Yeah,
Oompa band.
Oompa. Yeah.
For those looking for an excuse to bust out their lederhosen and dirndls, the festival will hold a costume contest to crown its own King Ludwig and Princess Therese.
All right, so they're having this in 3 different cities over some different weekends, so you can go all the way September through November, and they have specialty beers brewed by brewmasters. So this is kind of beer language right here. So specialty beers means, you know, they're not mass produced, but they're kind of like artisan. You know, they are made in small batches by different people. They're different styles or, you know, types of beer. They are brewed by brewmasters. So a brewmaster is the guy who actually creates the beer. He decides, you know, how to make that beer, how to brew the beer. And the lederhosen, that's the type of outfits that are, you know, were popular for Germany. These things right here. So this look right here. So there you can dress up if you want to, and like this German look here. These are the leather shorts, basically, is what they are, the lederhosen. And you can, and I don't know what the dirndls are. I have to look that up. Whoops. Oh, the girls, the dresses. I guess that's what they call them. So the girls. So the boys and the girls can dress up if you want, and you can have a costume contest. And so they're going to crown. So to crown means the contest is going to decide who's the king and who's the princess. So since it's based on that marriage festival that they had. Okay, guys. So Andre, I didn't hear. Have you ever gone to an Oktoberfest celebration?
No, unfortunately, but my colleague just came from this festival.
Oh.
He was in Munich, and he told us about something about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do they have anything like this anywhere in Russia or Moscow or something?
Sometimes we have festivals, music festivals, where there is a beer, but maybe it's not kind of Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. There is no any alternative in Russia.
Yeah. Before we finish up this hour, what did you write, Yuki? You were surprised by knowing that there's such a big German fest taking place. Oh yeah, in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if.
Yes,
I mean, you know,
maybe.
Hong Kong's a huge city, so maybe they can have lots of things happening at once. But yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for coming to class. I have a speaking class next if you want to join me there. But if I don't see you in that class, then have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for the class.
Learning English have learned that it's a huge country, and so there's lots of variety, even in terms of culture and people and values and belief systems and politics. So it's really hard to talk about, you know, an American person and be very accurate, just like, you know, many other countries around the world, large countries like Russia and, you know, Brazil, China, you know, they're made up of lots of different types of people that have different values, really, and different lifestyles and things like that. So it's interesting. Yeah. So it's interesting, though. I mean, of course, especially the United States, people might think that you can get somewhat of a sense of Americans if you watch a lot of American TV or movies or something like that. But again, it's not necessarily the best of America that's represented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially those reality TV shows lately. They're kind of crazy. All right. Well, then you can join the Spanish class. We have lots of English classes going at the same time, usually 1, 2, or 3 every hour. So if you're wanting to practice your English, Verbling is the place to come. Okay. Hi there, Andre. How are you doing?
Hi Lisa, I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing well. So I just caught the last part of the class with Henna that you guys, I think you were in there, were you? Were you in that class?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I just saw that you guys were talking about whether or not people have a favorable attitude of Americans or the U.S., I guess. I'm not sure what exactly it was.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
I'm not sure it's who made this. It's just statistics, and it's favorable of whom, of government or people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because government and people are different. It's
very different.
Very different, yeah.
Very different, and especially in a country like the United States, where it's so big. Some people might not realize it, but I think people who are learning. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another English class here on Verbling.com. My name is Lisa, and I'm one of the teachers here at Verbling. I live in the state of Washington, and I live in the United States. So if you want to join me in this hour and you have a reservation, then you can use your reservation now. But if you don't have a reservation, that's okay. You can always join a Verbling class whenever there's the join class button. So once it counts down those first 2 minutes up there on the button, then anybody can join the class. This is going to be kind of a reading / speaking class. We're going to be talking about Oktoberfest, which is a festival that's originally from Germany, but a lot of people around the world celebrate it. So there are lots of different Oktoberfests around the United States and also the world. So I got this article from the Smithsonian magazine, and we're going to be looking at it, reading. Look, you know, they're there to sell products and commercials. So, Hi guys. So hi Yuki. How are you?
Fine. How's it going?
It's going very well, actually. Temperatures dropping. It's definitely becoming more fall weather, but I like the fall, so I'm enjoying that. The trees, the leaves on the trees are changing color, so I like that. It doesn't happen. What?
Really good. That sounds really good.
Yeah. Does that happen in Moscow? Are the trees changing color?
Привет, Andre.
Andre, what did you say?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead, Andre.
The leaves are all yellow. It's kind of gold autumn. I'm not sure if you have this phrase in English. It's gold autumn or gold fall. I'm not sure.
We usually talk about the fall colors because looking at some pictures and discussing. So if you want to join the class, then you can go ahead and join now. You just have to click on the join class button. If you're new to Verbling, I will explain a little bit how it works while we're waiting to see if some students join the class. The way that this works is Verbling is a website for improving your languages. So we have a couple of different types of things that you can do on the website. One of the things you can do is attend classes. So if you're looking at the main page on Verbling, if you're there and you're watching me, this video is streaming live there, then what you're seeing is a couple of classes. So it looks like right now we have 3 English classes going and a Spanish class going at the same time. So what this means is if you're a member or if you purchase some classes, then you can join one of those classes. So you can join one of the 3 English classes that are happening right now, or if you want to practice your Spanish,